Beyonce not winning album of the year and Harry Styles winning album of the year? Is it about race? Is it about money? Or is it about both? The last time a black artist won album of the year was 19 years ago. Let's get into some of this straight game.
Yeah. Blackjack. Life is like a game of cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Yeah. Blackjack. To play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY, Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, notification. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like I always say, if this is your first time tuning in to Straight Game TV and you would like to be one of the first people notified, please do me a favor and hit that little bell notification right below this video. I'm going to get right into it. Everybody's mad, or should I say a lot of people are mad based on the fact that Beyonce did not win the Album of the Year award, and Harry Styles, who is a new artist from the UK, actually won the award. But this doesn't surprise me. A couple of people chimed in and asked me basically what did I think about that. You know what I mean? The fact that, Beyonce, has not won the Album of the Year award yet, though she is the most winning artist or the artist to win the most Grammys in Grammy history. And a lot of people don't really understand how it works. I'm not surprised at that. I'm not surprised at all. The people who run the Grammys, first of all, you have to know that the Grammys is a non-profit organization. And so basically all the money that they make, from the commercials and the advertisers and so on and so forth, right, basically goes into the coffers of the nonprofit. They have people who are ahead of the Grammys, and they are paid a salary for running that nonprofit. But most importantly, the reason why it didn't surprise me, and a lot of people don't know the inner politics of how the music business works, being that that's what that is. Most people would relate it to, oh yeah, they gave it to Harry Styles because he's white and he's, so on and so forth. That might be part of it, but that's not the part that I understand, from that perspective. On one hand, yeah, but it has more to do with money than it has to do with the color of a person's skin, and I'm going to explain that. So the Grammy basically looks at it like this. They said, we'll give all of the other categories that made Beyonce the #1 Grammy winning artist in history. They basically said, in all of those other categories, we'll give it to her. Usually you vote by proxy. If you're on the Grammy committee, they'll send you, an envelope and you vote, and they seal the envelope and you send it to New York. And basically, they saying that you vote on the Grammys from that perspective, right? And so, me personally, I don't believe that's what they go on. I just don't. A record company can actually give money to the Grammys. They can make a contribution to the Grammys on behalf of their artists. I don't know if you know this or not. Being that the Grammys is a nonprofit, right? A record label can actually pay the Grammys, not for their artists to win, but for their artists to be nominated. These are facts. And so, because what the Grammys actually is a marketing tool, right? As you see when artists come off the Grammys, immediately, if you will, most of them go right on tour or have some kind of tour or plan based off of the rocket shoot from being on the Grammys. The Grammys is a worldwide broadcast. And so off of the hype of that, everybody can go on tour. You know what I mean? The hip hop tribute for 50 years, hip hop being 50 years old, was phenomenal. And so you'll see a lot of artists, going on tour with that. So the thing with Harry Styles, and what was it, Adele and Beyonce and so on and so forth, most people don't understand that his record company definitely made that donation. And not to win, but the decision is a monetary decision, right? I won't say that they paid for him to win, but so Harry Styles is a new artist who there's a lot more money that can be generated from Harry Styles for his record label and his longevity or time being a younger artist in the music business, right? The record company can generate more money off of him than the record company can generate off of Beyonce at this particular point. I think Beyonce knows this, so I don't, she might feel indifferent about it, but, this is just the way the business works. Her having, won all of the Grammys that she's won now, she's about to go back on tour, embark on a tour. And, and the tickets, like Fat Joe said, yesterday's price is not today's price from that perspective. So that's what it basically boils down to. As you see, they created a new award, if you will, the Dr. Dre award that they gave him now was a category for other producers, artists, entrepreneurs, who are in the music business, and they will give that award away each year to someone who they feel like has earned it, right? So that's the thing that most people don't understand. The thing about Harry Styles is he's a new artist. He can generate more money for the label. Being a new artist, basically, it's a business. It's a money game. It's a money game. Beyonce, she's rich. Let's be clear. And that's not a slight to Beyonce. She worked hard. She deserves to have everything that she has. But on the flip side, they see more of an upside to Harry Styles and what they're trying to generate from him as a newer artist than they do from Beyonce. So the marketing aspect of Harry Styles winning, other than Beyonce or Adele, right, is the upside. So it's a business move. It's nothing personal against Beyonce. It's not really a slight or a diss to Beyonce. It's just from that perspective, that's just the business. If you had a new artist and, he was somewhat successful, all of the money that they put into Harry Styles to make his songs play on the radio every 15 minutes, that's not free. And so the recoupment of that money plus the profit is what they're looking at from that perspective. And so when you're dealing with a big conglomerate, let's say a Warner Brothers or Universal or whatever have you, right? When they make that donation to the Grammys, it's kind of like a wink and nod, like, hey, in the relationships that go along with the executives and say, hey, we really need, Harry to win. It's a great thing. Not that Harry Styles is not a good artist or a great artist from people who are his fans and so on and so forth, but that's just the way that it works. So a lot of people are like, how come Beyonce, a lot of people are in their feelings, but this has nothing to do with feelings. Nothing, and so, but then you have it on the flip side. The reason why Beyonce showed up, she was nominated for all of those Grammys. Not that she would win them all, but she was nominated for those Grammys, right? The same thing, with Jay-Z coming on, because these are the people who actually help people watch the Grammys. If Beyonce and people like that don't show up, people are not going to watch. They have a crazy fan base. So I understand the emotional aspect from the fans, but then business trumps all. You know what I mean? This is about money. This is about the investment. This is about, shareholders. This is about all of those things in which a lot of these companies Sony, Universal, who else we have? But Capitol, all of these record labels, are basically publicly traded on the stock market under one company or the other. So it's always about money. And so that's the reason why Harry Styles won the album of the year, and it wasn't because of they dissing Beyonce or they're dissing so on and so forth. It's just there's a lot more upside. Like you said, when Adele, she first came on the scene. Phenomenal artist, and she did her thing. And so, like I said, once again, people feel like well, Beyonce should win because X, Y, and Z. I feel like she deserves to win it too, but you got to understand, I would take being the most Grammy winning artist in history than I would over one accolade of album of the year, whom most people are not going to remember the next time the Grammys come up that next year. But you will always remember who the number one Grammy winning artist in history is, and that's Beyonce. So, give me the history, and you can take that 1 year, and I'm okay with that, because there's a lot of catching up that Harry Styles or any other artist has to do to catch up with Beyonce and the accolades and the Grammys that she's earned over her career. So when you weigh it out and you're not just like emotional in that moment about the artist that you care about, then you'll see it a little bit differently. Like I said, Harry Styles will be going on tour. He will be making millions for his record label, as well as earning royalties on his music and so on and so forth, based on the structuring of his contract. So that's what that was about. That wasn't about a slight at Beyonce. That wasn't about a slight at Adele. That was a money move. And like I said, once again, most people don't understand that the Grammys is a non-profit organization. And all of the money they receive from the record labels for the artists to be nominated, as well as the money that they receive from the advertisers, all go into the Grammys coffers and help produce those events, as well as help market the artists and set them up to be successful to go on tour. So it kind of works hand in hand. Yeah, tell me what y'all think about that, man. Like I said, a lot of people don't really understand that, and they get into their feelings about it. Chime in below. Your boy DELRAY, straight game.